Logitech G502X versus the G502 Hero. The X asks for noticeably more money, and the real question is whether the lighter body and the new hybrid switches are actually worth it, or whether the cheaper Hero still does enough for you. Paying up is not automatically smart, and saving is not always smart either. By the end, you will know which one is right for your hand and your budget. Let's make it clear. Let's start where it actually matters, the switches. This is the headline of the whole comparison. The classic G502 problem, the one that's haunted Logitech for years, is double-clicking, mechanical switches that start registering 2 clicks when you only pressed once, usually after a year or 2 of heavy use. And look, the Hero is not immune. The most consistent reviews point to the left button or middle click going flaky after some months of hard use. One owner had 3 solid years out of theirs before stutter crept in, which is fine, but it's the exact failure pattern that comes up again and again. The G502X takes a real swing at that with its Lightforce hybrid optical-mechanical switches. Optical actuation with a mechanical feel on top. The whole point is that there's no metal contact to get contaminated, so the dreaded click bounce should be far less likely. There's an opinion from a longtime G502 user who'd burned through 4 older units to the left button issue, and they specifically moved to the X, hoping this design finally kills it. That tells you who this upgrade is really for. If you've ever had a mouse double-click itself into the trash, the Switch is the headline, and the X is the safer pick for longevity. Buy once, cry once. That reliability means nothing if the thing doesn't sit right in your hand. Good news. Both keep the same G502 shape that people have loved for years, so if the Hero already fits you, the X won't feel alien. But there are small refinements that matter. The X tweaks the palm support just below the index finger, giving a touch more height and a more secure grip. The big one is the DPI shift button. On the X, it's reversible and removable, so you can flip it back for large hands or pull it off entirely. People with bigger hands consistently say the side buttons and that DPI clutch finally sit where the thumb naturally lands. And look at what Marcus says about the G502X. I've got large hands, and this fits me well in different grips. I can hit every button without hunting for it, and the lighter body really cuts down the wrist fatigue over long sessions. When the shape already works and they sharpen the details, that's a real win for comfort. Now wait, because this is where you actually feel the years between them. The Hero is a heavy mouse, around 121 grams before you even touch the optional weights. The X drops to 89 grams. That's a big gap, and it changes how the mouse moves. Add the larger PTFE feet on the X, and the glide is noticeably smoother across the pad. For long sessions, for flick aiming, for plain less fatigue, lighter in the hand here does not mean weaker in performance. The sensor is the same Hero 25K on both. Accurate, no smoothing, 0 complaints. So the aiming difference comes down to weight and glide, and the X wins that cleanly. That said, if you're chasing true ultralight esports mice, 89 grams is still on the chunky side, and the Hero's adjustable weights are actually a plus if you like a heavier planted feel. If this comparison is helping you sort it out, subscribe. Your support is what keeps these deep comparisons coming. On the cable, neither one is a highlight. Both are wired, and honestly, both cables draw criticism. The X swapped the older braided cord for a thin rubber one that several owners call flimsy and a bit short. The Hero's braided cable is stiffer and has memory, so it can drag. The cable is the compromise on both, and a cheap mouse bungee solves it either way. Customization is close to a wash. 11 buttons, dual mode scroll wheel with free spin and ratchet, onboard memory for profiles, and Logitech G Hub on both. The X adds that reversible DPI button and a rubberized, lighter wheel that feels more modern. The Hero keeps RGB, which the wired X drops entirely. G Hub itself gets grumbles for being slow and notification happy, but that's the same software on both, so it's not a tiebreaker. Which brings us to money. Both live in a similar range, but the Hero is usually the cheaper buy and goes on sale more often, sometimes dropping hard. The X asks for more in exchange for the new switches, the lighter body, and the smoother glide, while giving up RGB and the braided cable. The Hero gives you adjustable weights and lighting for less. What you're really paying extra for on the X is longevity and feel. Here's the call. For most of you, the G502X. The hybrid switches kill the double-click problem that's haunted this mouse for years, and the lighter body just feels better over long sessions. For me, that's where the extra money makes sense. If your priority is longevity and you're tired of replacing mice that click themselves to death, buy the X. If you love RGB, adjustable weights, and a planted, heavier feel for less money, the Hero still holds up. The Hero goes on sale more often and sometimes drops hard, so if you want to spend less, wait for a deal. And you, which one would you pick? Let me know in the comments, both linked below with the current price.